Travis.
Hello.
Hello. All right, it's mid-November, November 12th. This is the first time we're going into the hive in about a month. We're gonna check and see how warm they are. So we did a couple things for the wintertime. First, we put the introducer in, the very, very small one. It's around 50 today, and there's a few bees flying in and out, but not that many. They're just probably doing cleansing flights. And then we put a spacer on top of the hive with a nickel and a piece of wood over here so that the humidity would come out, and then newspaper on top to absorb the humidity. And it did get very humid. Hey, bees. Oops. Let's see how our cluster is doing. You can hear them making heat.
They would not like it if we took...
No, we're not going to take a frame out.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like these bees are just going into the honey and eating as much as they can. We still have full honey stores on most of the frames. Oh, here's a couple bees coming into the hive.
They're good guard bees.
Okay. So we're going to cover them back up with the outer cover. And then I made a log of fondant in case they run out of food. And I will link to the video of how I made this. Basically, this is just hard sugar for them to eat through the winter. All right, it's November 11th, 2017, and we haven't been into the bees in a couple of weeks, but we know they have about 50 pounds of sugar in the hive, and I just want to make sure that they have enough sugar to make it through the winter. In order to do that, everything that I've read online says that they're not going to take any more liquid sugar, so you need to make some sort of either sugar fondant or just put granulated sugar in on top of the hive. I think the fondant will be fun to make, and more than anything, it'll be easier to put into the hive to see how much they're actually consuming. In order to do that, you need a couple things. 10 pounds of granulated sugar, a little bit of vinegar, a candy making thermometer. I bought pre-cut cookie sheets, but any type of cookie sheets or paper plates will work. And a large pot to boil everything. So let's get started. All right, we start by bringing 1 quart of water to a boil and 1 tablespoon of distilled white vinegar. The vinegar supposedly will help with stopping bacteria from growing. Mix these up and bring to a slow simmer. In 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, so we're at a simmer. Time to start mixing in the sugar. And here we are. Boiling sugar water. All right, we have reached 234 degrees. Turn the heat off. And we can remove it from the heat. Okay, I've removed it from the heat, and now we're gonna let everything cool down to 200 degrees when it should start getting a little bit thicker, and then we will pour everything out of the pot onto like a big cutting board and start kneading it into fondant. See how that goes. You can take a look here. It's nice and smooth. No sugar crystals, no caramel, no burning. All right, in order to get it to cool a little bit quicker, filled my sink up with some ice and water, and I am dropping the fondant into it. There we go. And now I just shall start mixing. You can't really tell in the video, but all of the sugar water against the sides of the pot are condensing up really quickly. It's starting to become nice and opaque. All of the ice is melted. I've now moved to cold compresses, but it looks like this is thickening up really well. It's still incredibly hot though. And we'll keep putting a newspaper in the top because it absorbs the humidity that they create when you're making heat. Also, we'll have a crack between the top cover and the spacer here so that they get airflow from the bottom through the top.
It's a great use of the fake Washington Post, right, Danzo?
Yeah. Fake news to absorb humidity.
There's no fake news in this house.
Where'd that piece of wood go?
It's in the bucket right here. I picked it up off the ground.
Is it?
Is that it right there sticking out?
We can just do this. There we go. So I'll link to the video, or I'll actually post or cut the video of how I made the fondant in.
They're still figuring it out.
The bees are still figuring out where the entrance is. That's it. So I guess our next check-in will be in mid-January, and hopefully they have enough food.
Stay warm, bees.